Today on Plant-Based Kidneys Kitchen, we're making some crispy chickpeas that have been roasted in the oven. These are great to have in a bowl, a salad, and a wrap, or you can enjoy them as a nice savory snack. If you guys are new here, I'm Michelle Crosmer. I'm a renal dietitian, and this is Plant-Based Kidneys Kitchen, a place where we can cook food that is specific for people with chronic kidney disease. I provide the nutrition information in the notes section for each of the recipes, so you know how much sodium, potassium, phosphorus, protein, carbohydrate, fiber, and other nutrients are in the recipes. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started here. One of the great things about this, it's really easy. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees, and then you are going to take either chickpeas that you have cooked from dry that are already cooked, or you could use canned chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Just make sure that you get low sodium and that they are drained and rinsed. And if you don't know draining and rinsing, you basically are just going to take the canned chickpeas. You're going to put it in a colander and then run it over water. You're getting rid of that liquid that it's been sitting in, and that helps to remove a pretty good amount of the salt. So one of the things for making the chickpeas crispy that I found, number one, if you have an air fryer, use your air fryer. That usually makes them crispier than the oven. But if you are using the oven, then what you want to do is make sure the chickpeas are dry before you toss them in some oil and seasoning and then roast them in the oven. So I'm just going to put them out on my towel here. If you have more time, then you're welcome to let them, sit out and air dry. But I don't have time for that. So I'm just going to dry them real quick. And again, this isn't something you have to do. You could skip this step, but I find that it helps make them a little bit crispier. So we are going to take these chickpeas and then put them in a bowl so we can toss them with our seasoning. If you are using chickpeas from that you've cooked from dried, and as opposed to a can. So again, you're using one full can that you've drained and rinsed, but that's about 1.5 cups. So that's what you'd be using if you were using your own chickpeas. Okay, so we have our chickpeas or garbanzo beans in here. We're going to do about 1 tablespoon of either extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. Then pretty much seasoning wise, you can use whatever low sodium seasonings you like. I'm going to do a combination of garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and black pepper. Other things I think that are really good are curry powder, cayenne pepper, if you like it spicy, chili powder, cumin. You could go, really, if you wanted to do something that's kind of like a savory and sweet, you can get some cinnamon in there. There's lots of options with this, but I'm going to do 1/4 teaspoon of all of these seasonings. So 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and then 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. This is something too where it's so easy you don't have to measure it, right? None of these seasonings have sodium in it. If you are using anything that has salt, then I would just make sure that you check the label and you know how much sodium is in the serving that you're using, and you can make sure that it's low in sodium. All right, and we're just going to mix that up. We're going to put that onto our pan. I have it on parchment paper. Spread it out. One of the things you do want to make sure is the pan that you have is big enough so the chickpeas aren't sitting on top of each other. You want them to be spread out so that they can get crispy. All right. This all spread out on my pan. And then we're going to put this in the oven at 425 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes. So it's been 30 minutes now. I'm going to take the roasted chickpeas out of the oven. They're all done. We'll let them cool. As you can see, they are a nice, crispy, golden color. Okay, so I want to show you, remember that we originally had 1.5 cups of the cooked chickpeas, and then because they shrink down when we cook, it makes about 1 full cup once it's done. So as far as the serving size, it's really going to depend if you're having this as a snack or if you're having this as part of your meal. So I'd say if you're having this as a snack, you want to limit the portion to about 1/4 cup, and then if you are having it as a meal, then about 1/2 cup portion. A little bit of water in here. So, and again, that's so that the potassium and protein is controlled, but you can adjust it for your own needs. So not make a mess. Okay, so this is half a cup portion. That would be if you were sprinkling this over a salad, a wrap, and some sort of stir fry or bowl type of dish. So if it's a half a cup, then this entire recipe is going to make 2 servings, 2 1/2 cup servings. Per serving of this, it's about 265 calories, 11 grams of protein. The sodium would vary from, only 10 milligrams if you didn't have any salt added to the garbanzo beans. It could be maybe 70, 75 milligrams of sodium, depending on the canned garbanzo beans and how much salt was in that. 35 grams of carbohydrates, 10 grams of fiber, 376 milligrams of potassium, and 211 milligrams of phosphorus. Again, it's a plant protein source, so the phosphorus is only absorbed about 50% or less. Another thing to keep in mind is that I did the nutrient analysis using dried chickpeas that were then cooked. Canned chickpeas are usually a little bit lower in potassium because of the canning process, so keep that in mind. But this is a half cup portion, and then a quarter cup. So this would be, let's say you're having this more for like a snack. You're going to have this with maybe some cucumber slices or a piece of fruit. Then the entire recipe would make 4 servings, and that would be 4 1/4 cup servings. So per 1/4 cup, 133 calories, 5.5 grams of protein. Sodium is going to, again, depend on the chickpeas. 17 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fiber, 188 milligrams of potassium, and 105 milligrams of phosphorus. So it's something that's important to keep in mind, especially someone if you have diabetes, for example. 17 grams of carbs with 5 grams of fiber is a really good carbohydrate to fiber ratio for a snack. And then again, of course, this seems like a small amount, but you would ideally be pairing it then with some sort of fruit or vegetable so that you're getting the benefits of getting more fruits and veggies in your diet as well. These are something I'd say you want to let cool fully before you store them, and then you can put them in an airtight container, store them in your fridge, but they're nice and crispy. I usually, with these things, I think of them as almost like homemade cornets. So try it out. I hope you guys enjoy. Again, you can totally change the seasonings that you use, but it's a good plant protein that you can change up. If you don't really like the texture of beans, then you can make it crispy, more flavorful, and just give it a little bit of zazz to your meal. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you can like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.